I've just spent the last hour or so formulating my weight loss plan slash how I am going to get to goal. Hopefully it will be okay. Oh, petrol station, I need petrol. Look how gorgeous this little keepy cup is from Costa. Monday, welcome back to another weekly vlog. I am just finishing off the edit from last week, getting that exported. I am terrible at multitasking, so I have no idea why I'm attempting to do it, but here we are. That one, and save. There we go, I think that's all good. Lovely. So yeah, welcome back to another week. Here we are. So I have got quite a few things I need to get done today. I'm actually massively regretting not getting up earlier and cracking on. I didn't get up too late. I got up at like, I think it was about 7:30, which is essentially a lie-in for me. But yes, I'm really wishing that I got on it sooner, because it's now 11:30 and I am feeling a little bit sort of like there's lots and lots and lots I want to do, and whoops, and I feel like the day is just going to be one of those days where I blink and it's like 6 p.m. But on today's agenda was editing, exporting, uploading last week's video. So I'm on with that. And one of probably the main things that I like to get done today is planning my sort of like weight loss structure. How am I going to do it? And I know I've mentioned this a million gazillion times and not really actioned it. And I don't even really think I've explained it very well, but essentially I just want to get a really good structured plan in place so I can just go forward with it. I know what I'm doing, I know what my plans are, get it all out of my head. Because like I mentioned in the sort of like outro of last week's video, it's kind of all a bit of a jumbled mess in my mind at the moment. So I want to structure it in a way that I've got a very clear idea of how I am going to get to goal. So I do also need to go and do somewhat of a food shop for at least over the next couple of days, because I'm in the studio and I have something very exciting happening this week. I'm going to see Laura and finally meet Bonnie, which I am so excited about. That's happening on Thursday. So I just want to make sure I've got sort of meals and food and stuff planned for over the next few days. But it's kind of just occurred to me that I need to have somewhat of an idea of sort of my, what's the right word, like my eating style, like how I'm going to do that. I think I definitely need to get a better way of like, just think better about lunches at work. I think I need to structure that better. So that's something I need to think about. I guess my general overall consensus of it is to try and eat as little processed and ultra processed, as much sort of like whole good foods full of like good vitamins, minerals, and just all the things that we need. Just realised it's very hot under my computer. All the things that we need for our bodies to run as effectively as they can. And I do need to sort of lean back into tracking as I'm trying to lose weight. That is obviously a very important part of it. So I'm thinking the thing that I'd kind of like to do, I think for this week, just to sort of like ease myself back into it and not go sort of full health level. Like I don't have a mass amount of time today to do loads of like meal prepping and stuff, but I'd like to decide what I'm going to have for my work lunches, and I'd like that to be something that's really nutritious, really tasty, and like easy, something I can just grab and go. So I need to think about that. I'm the kind of like just quick thought processes of it is that I'm gonna try and include good lean healthy proteins, good sort of like protein sources. I'd like to try and have lots more sort of like pulses and vegetables and things this week as well. So I kind of like the idea of trying to do some form of meal prepping for my work lunches, but I need to have a bit of a better idea of that before I go to the shop. So, because I kind of want to make it really easy, like I want to make it really foolproof. Like, oh, I'm hungry between my meals, fancy a snack, this is what I have, this is what I'm gonna have for my snacks, and have them there and ready, and I know what I'm doing for work lunches, and I can sort of pre-log them into NutriCheck. Gosh, it's been that long, I am forgetting what the app is called. So I've got this book which I spoke about, I think maybe in last week's video, which obviously will start from tomorrow. It's got my weekly goals. I need to fill this in. I don't feel like this element of it is going to be that like helpful, but I think rather than using it to like write down, maybe I can just use it as a log, to write down what I had, what the calories were and stuff like that, just so that I can have like a visual look and then see if, you know, I'm slipping up anywhere, and just make it also better for referencing, because I find it difficult. Obviously NutriCheck and these apps on our phones and things are really, really good and handy to like scan things in and sort of calculate the caloric intake of the overall meal and stuff like that. But when I'm coming to sort of like look through it, I think I'd find it much better to have like a physical representation of it. So that's good. I've got like a weekly meal plan thing here, which is good. But yeah, I think in terms of the actual meals, what I'm going to do today is probably go to Sainsbury's and choose. I sometimes will do this rather than doing like a meal plan. I'll sort of like look at the protein sources and things, and maybe get, a lot of the time I'll try and see what's on like offer and things to make just get a really good bargain. But I've got an idea. I want sort of like quite mostly sort of like chicken or like turkey, like quite lean protein sources. So I think I'm going to do that, and then it's pretty foolproof around that. I'm going to try and have like lentils and couscous and, you know, beans and things with my meals, and then for the boys I'm going to try and do like potatoes or rice, and then I might throw in, I think one night we're going to have some like baked white fish, so I might have a few sort of like what are they called? My brain is not working. Might have some new potatoes with that and stuff. There's no real like food that's like strictly forbidden in a way. It's just the kind of rule and thing that I'm going to try and follow going into October, which is something that I've been doing over the last few months, but kind of fallen away from that over the last few weeks, is just trying to make sure that it's an actual food. So, you know, animal protein or products that come from animals in the best way possible, and things that grow in the ground or, you know, are natural. And yeah, try and go down that path. Where was I saying that? Oh yeah, so when I speak about like potatoes and things like that, it's not that I'm demonizing potatoes. It's just that when I include more sort of like lentils and beans and pulses and what have you, they just really work better for my body, and they're really good. Another thing I need to get back into, or lean more back into, is my philosophy of protect the liver and feed the gut. So feeding the gut, that means having lots of pre and probiotic foods in my diet. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted by notifications on my watch. And yeah, just basically trying to feed my microbiome with all the things that they love, lots of like good fiber, pre and probiotics, and it really helps with my inflammation. Over the last week, I've certainly noticed, and I also noticed editing the video as well, because obviously you see yourself in many different angles, and I noticed how bloated I am at the moment, and I think that's probably an effect from eating lots of, like, you know, high sugar things, refined carbs. And yeah, when I lean more into sort of like looking after my gut and what have you, it certainly has a much better response on my body overall, weight loss stuff aside. I think, I don't know the ins and outs as to why. My knowledge only goes so far, but you know, certain sort of additives and things in food really disrupt your gut. It can sort of lead to having leaky gut, which is, you know, then that leads into inflammation. And yeah, it's a whole, you know, a huge subject matter, which it is very interesting. And I do want to, over the course of October, find a new book or something, just expand my knowledge a little bit further. But in a nutshell, which we know I'm really bad at, I just want to sort of like lean back into that philosophy. You know, it really makes me feel so much better. So I'm gonna try and include sort of like the like carb sources of my meals to reflect that, essentially. And I can do it quite easily. Say, let's for instance, at some point today, I just like, you know, batch cook a big thing of lentils, maybe with a little seasoning or something. And then let's say for instance, I make some turkey steaks with some vegetables. For the boys, they could either have like new potatoes or rice or something like that, and I can just have my little thing of lentils that I make. That's the idea around it, I suppose. So yeah, I think probably because I've got this real weird thing, I don't like going out and doing the food shop too late, because then I feel like I've come back and then I've not got any of the day left. So I think I'll probably go and do that now, and then share with you my things that I gather for meals over the next few days and snacks and things like that. And then I am going to come and do my weight loss plan. So happy Monday. Just having a little look at the baby clothes. They're so cute. I've got Bonnie a few little bits and bobs, but just wanted to have a little look at what they had. And I am literally obsessed with this little fleecy coat. It's so cute. It might have to be that. Although I have seen a really ridiculously cute pumpkin baby grow as well. And then look how adorable. The little mushrooms and the little leggings. So I am really spoiled for choice. Literally want to buy her everything. It's so super cute. I'm not super sure if it's going to be strange being so far down. This is literally the only place in my car that I can film without it being too much in view of my windscreen and being like silly and dangerous. So we will just see how that goes, because I don't know, it might feel like a little bit too annoying to watch as to watch in the location it is. I don't know, we'll see. I'll have to sort of watch it back and check, and hopefully it will be okay. Oh, petrol station, I need petrol. I hate getting petrol. It is one of my least favourite things to do. I find it incredibly boring, but needs must. The weather is insane. It is so rainy. What was I saying? I think I was saying that hopefully it will work, because I think I've mentioned this before, but I tend to spend a lot of my time in the car, and it would be nice to be able to sort of like have some little car chats, and I think it will help, because it will help fill in the blanks sometimes in my weekly vlogs where I'm sort of like on the go and stuff. So hopefully it will work. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, the shopping went well, and I think I've managed to get some pretty good meals. Like, it was a bit off the cuff, or on the cuff, I don't know what that saying is, but I think I've done okay. Oh, Jim's just calling. Jim had just called to say that we'd run out of butter, but thankfully I already knew that, and I already picked some up, so that's good, because I was not going back to the shop. Absolutely no way. So yeah, well, I got a couple of different sort of like dinner options. Jim did say that he was going to go to the fishmongers at some point this week to get us some lovely white fish. I've actually been craving like baked white fish, so that was a very good suggestion of him, really. I'm not I picked like the worst time ever to trial this like car filming, because the weather's horrendous. The wiper blades are making a horrendously loud noise. Traffic is crazy, so I'm probably not making much sense, but it's essentially just a little test anyway, so just a test. Whoa, he got very close, to see how I get on. Does anybody else have hundreds of temporary traffic lights? Whoa, this bridge is flooding. That's really, really bad. I'm glad I came through that then and not later, because it's definitely going to be submerged underwater. Does anybody else where they live have hundreds of temporary traffic lights at the moment? It feels like every road out of the town that I live in, and obviously into it as well, it's just like full of temporary traffic lights. They're ruining my life, honestly. Seriously makes journeys so much longer, and unnecessarily longer than they need to be. I mean, I am really sure that what they're doing is very needed and necessary, but I appreciate it if they got a shimmy on and did it in quicker time. So yeah, I'm gonna go and hopefully get home in this horrendous weather. am home out of the madness that is the rain today. It's very, very rainy. So I wanted to just quickly show you what I grabbed from Sainsbury's. I actually have just eaten one of these because I was so super hungry when I got back. So I thought I'd just, oh, turn the kettle on there. There's no water in it. I think that's the universe telling me that I need a coffee. Yeah, I had one of these and I cannot tell you how nice they are. So super, super yummy. It's the Naked Fruit and Fibre bars in apple and cinnamon flavour. Probably my new obsession. Delicious. I wish I'd have grabbed them in a box, but yeah, they are so good. I grabbed just a wholemeal loaf. Oh no, squashed it a little bit. Jim and Joe really seemed to enjoy the wholemeal loaf last week, so that is good. It makes me a very happy bunny when they eat wholemeal bread and not white bread. I grabbed, now this is a bit random, I don't usually have porridge, however I was really, really craving it. Just like the thought of having a warm bowl of porridge with maybe like a teaspoon of peanut butter or a little bit of cinnamon or something sprinkled in. Just really, I have a massive craving for that for some reason. So I thought, well, I'm going to listen to my body and I'm going to pick some up. So got that. I also picked up this, which is the maca powder. I do have a couple of this brand, their products, Natura, I think that's how you pronounce it, but this is the maca powder and it energizes the body and supports immunity with iron, vitamin B2 and fiber. And then basically you can just add this in, you can add this into porridge, you can add it into home baking, you can stir it into like hot beverages or stir it into cold beverages. And I feel like I always could do with some help with my energy levels, so I really wanted to give that a go. So grabbed him. I got a pack of tuna because with referencing back to talking about sort of work lunches and stuff, I really love tuna and I think it's like really easy to make into sort of like meals and stuff. So what I'm thinking is either doing sort of like chickpeas or like beans with tuna and a little bit of mayonnaise, maybe like a little bit of onion and stuff in there, just in like a little pot. I really like the idea of that. I grabbed some cheese, just some cheddar cheese. I got myself some kefir. Somebody commented, I'm really sorry, I can't remember your name, but commented a little while ago, do I just drink this like straight from the bottle or do I sort of like add it into breakfast cereals and stuff? And the answer is both. I really, really, really enjoy just drinking it as a drink, and also for my little, I call them little yogurt bowls, which I'll add some like bran flakes and some fruit and stuff. Really enjoy that. Butter. I grabbed one of these, which I'm probably going to have one in a little second. It's the Turmeric Co. Raw turmeric and ginger. Basically just cold pressed turmeric and ginger. Really good. Really, really good for you. I love it. Now the protein sources I got were pork loin steaks. These are just delicious. I really, really enjoy them. I've had them quite a lot over the last sort of few weeks and really enjoy them. I grabbed a whole chicken just to roast in the oven. And then I also grabbed some turkey mince with the idea to make them into turkey meatballs. Just grab my other bag. Oh yeah, I got some kombucha. I got the mango and the elderflower and lemon flavours. Just a little treat. quite a mixed bag of things. I picked up some more of the dark rye Ryvita crisp breads. I'm so hungry, everything's sounding delicious, and I'm really struggling to think what I'm going to have for my lunch now, because I'm really craving a few different things, so I'm not sure what I'm going to have. I picked up some eggs. We're big egg fans in this household. Got some of the Bold Bean Co. white beans, and like I say, these are, I'm gonna sort of switch between the chickpeas and the beans, but the idea is to have them with my lunch and alongside like whatever dinner we decide to have. I picked up these, which are the Heinz sort of like sauces. These are great. So basically, I know I say this every week, but if you're new, these are so super great. They list the ingredients along the front, which are all natural. There's no nasty additives and no sugar, no added sugar and all that jazz. But this week I've gone with the flavour tomato, black garlic and roasted garlic, and these are to have with the turkey meatballs. I think I'm just imagining some kind of meal in my head, which is going to be like the turkey meatballs, maybe some rice for the boys, or some like lentils or something for me, and some sauteed veggies, and then sort of like put it in the pot and combine it all together. That sounds amazing. Peanut butter. I'd run out of my other one and I was craving it in some porridge. Some more butter. I've just got some little Charlotte potatoes, some green beans, one of my favourite vegetables, green beans, I love them, and also, where are my carrots? There. Carrots are another fan favourite. I have to have them multiple times a week. I absolutely adore carrots. And then I picked up some onions because we had run out. Brown onions. Little bunch of bananas. Some leeks, meat, and, well, everybody loves leeks in this house. And I like to make a vegetable medley kind of thing, where I will sort of saute, well, I'll parboil all of the vegetables that take a little bit longer to cook, like carrots and what have you, and then green beans and whatever, and then I will sort of add them into a pan and sort of saute them in a little bit of butter with leek, cabbage, and whatever other vegetables are taking my fancy that day, and it's delicious. I also will add, sometimes I will just throw in a little bit of the Just Spices, like vegetable all-rounder, or I might, if we've got some garlic, and so I don't know why that's not focusing, but you get the idea. I might throw in some garlic or something. It's really yummy, really, really good. I got some lettuce. Hearts of romaine in particular, and this was, I got this with the idea because I was thinking it might be nice to like slice it up and put it into my lunches, just as a little different texture option. And just lettuce, can't go wrong with some lettuce really. I got 2 avocados, and now I'm really fancying like avocado toast with egg. Oh my god, I'm so hungry, guys. It is like 20 to 3 and all I've had to eat today is that naked bar, so that's probably why. Some apples and oranges. And then lastly, these are not food items, but I thought I would share just to switch things up a bit. I really needed to grab myself some new makeup. If you've noticed that this on the side of my hand, that's what's going on there. Let me just see if I can get this off actually, because I don't think that's going to work. Oh dear. I should have thought about this before I tested it in such like a visual place. I suppose it's good though. does what it's supposed to do. Yeah, that ain't coming off. That really ain't coming off. So anyway, I picked up some Max Factor Miracle Pure Skin Reset foundation. I really needed a new foundation, and this was on an extra offer, and it's new and it looked good. To be honest, I don't really wear makeup all that often. I do my brows pretty much every day and might like throw on a little bit of bronzer or something, but to be honest, I don't really wear makeup daily. And it really doesn't bother me. I think sometimes it just feels like a little bit, makes me feel a bit claustrophobic and stuff, just having quite a lot on my face. But this seemed like it was a nice sort of like light coverage. And then I also grabbed a primer, the Max Factor primer. It really annoys me that they put these big horrible sort of security stickers over the front. I have no idea what kind of primer this is because it's got a sticker on the front. Universal Primer, Airbrush Finish, Pore Minimizing and Mattifying. So grab that. I also needed a new bronzer because mine is literally just the very, very outer rim, and yeah, I really needed some more, so I got that. And I also got this really, really cute little blusher. It's got sort of some like goldy tones in it. I think it's like slightly, what's the word? Glowy? I don't know. Can you tell I'm a rubbish girl and have no idea what I'm talking about? I also picked up just a little concealer. I think it's the same Miracle Pure sort of collection as the foundation. And then I also got Lipfinity 24 Hours Wear lip colour, and it's I think it was the top one. It's in the shade Spicy. Kind of looks like that. I always kind of go for like these kind of pinky sort of tones for lips. But yeah, that's why they are still on my hand after washing them. So that is that. Right, now I'm going to just quickly put these groceries away. Thankfully there's not a heck ton. And then I'm going to decide what I'm going to have to eat. I don't want to have something too heavy though, because it is 20 to 3 and we'll probably be having tea in a few hours. So I need something just to keep me going. Well, that was incredibly stupid.
Hello.
Hello.
I don't know if I do want... Oh,
Oh, if you've changed your mind, that's alright.
I thought it was fine. Yeah, alright, babe, today.
Yeah, I'm just kind of wishing that I'd got up a bit earlier to get done the things that I wanted to get done today done.
Why do you feel like you're running out of time?
Not sure actually.
It's only 3 o'clock.
Would you like a shot of turmeric and ginger?
Hey?
Would you like a turmeric shot?
Yeah.
Oh, spicy. I don't know, maybe I'm just in one of those moods where I'm being hypercritical of not doing enough, maybe? It's quite silly, yeah. You're right though, it is only 3. I had a little turmeric shot and I've made myself a lovely big cup of coffee, and I popped in some of the maca powder. First review is it's got a very interesting taste. It's like quite earthy. I quite like it. I think I might have put too much in. I put like a heaped teaspoon in. I'm not sure the amount. I should have really checked. Yeah, it's nice. I like it. we'll see if it has the desired effect. But yeah, it's kind of, I think having the turmeric shot and a few sips of that somewhat took away my hunger. So I'm just gonna hold out for dinner because I think it's too sort of like close to dinner time or tea time. Please let me know in the comments, is it breakfast, lunch and dinner, or do you do breakfast, dinner and tea? Like, what's your like food time of the day titles? Because it's obviously very, very different. But yeah, I always say lunch and usually dinner or tea, but then tea can get confusing because it's obviously a hot beverage. So yeah, let me know. So yeah, I think it's too close to dinner, so I'm just going to hold out. I can always just have like a piece of fruit or something if I get hungry. But anyway, I've wanted to show you what I picked up for little beautiful Bonnie. I did end up going with this adorable fleece. Look at it, it's tiny. Oh my god, like honestly, if they had this in adult size I would totally get one too and match her. But I just love it. And one of the things I really liked about it is Laura's favorite color is purple. She also loves animal print. Now I know these are like little flowers, but it kind of has like a little animal print vibe to it as well. But it's not like crazy. But yeah, it's just so super cozy and fleecy. I love it. It kind of reminds me of my big Sherpa jacket, but I think just that is just so cute with the little cute hood. Absolutely adorable. So I picked that up. And then I absolutely could not resist getting her this as well. Just the colours and look how cute. Look how cute the little pumpkins are. I just cannot cope with how cute they are. So it's gorgeous, so super beautiful. And then it's also got like a little matching cute little pumpkin leafy print hat as well. So she just had to have it. There was just no way I was not going to get that for her. Adorbs. Absolutely adorable. And I just popped that with I picked this up before she was born actually. It's not going to show up on camera. Oh yeah, there we go. But it's got just the most cute little kitty cats with some floral designs on. Laura loves cats and I'm sure Bonnie is going to inherit her love. So yeah, got that for a little while ago. So very excited to see her this week. So I'm just now up in my office obviously, and I am going to finish off a few bits and bobs I was doing earlier, drink my coffee, and then I am going to get this weight loss plan nailed. Spent the last hour or so formulating my weight loss plan / how I am going to get to goal. So I thought I would just share it with you all. So the first thing that I did was reflect on sort of like the journey so far, where I'm currently at. So I started out at 16 stone way back when I started my weight loss journey. And my current weight is 13 stone 11 pounds. So I have currently lost 31 pounds or 2 stone 3 pounds thus far. So what I did at the front of my little sort of tracker planner journal, I added all of the little hearts which represent £1 each, and then also added my little stone stars at the bottom, which was a really nice activity. It was nice to just reflect on the progress I have had so far, because I think it's been over such like a scattered period of time. It's hard to appreciate it from my own point of view. So that was really nice. That was a lovely activity to just really think about it, and you know, that it's nice to see it in sort of like a visual format. I do sometimes, when I look at like photos or video clips from a couple of years ago, I can certainly see it then, but I feel like because it's been such like a long period of time, I've lost it over, and it's not been in like one go, it's been like here and there. Yeah, it's nice just to have a little visual representation and remember how far I've come so far. So this actually, I've still got quite a few stickers, and this goes up to 4.5 stone. Yeah, 4.5 stone. So that's nice. That's something that I am going to continue with. So I've also just filled out my goals for the next 3 months, 6 months and 1 year. And so this takes me to December, March and October 25. And when we get into December, I will read my goal with you and see if I've achieved it. I've also filled out my things I want to achieve this month. Yeah, so done that so far. And then I've also just sort of wrote down how I'm going to get to my first goal and my dream goal. So my first goal is actually 11 stone, which is 2 stone 11 pounds. I'm currently 2 stone 11 pounds away from that weight. So the reason I chose that as my first goal is I spent the majority of my adult life sitting at 11 stone. I'd lost quite a lot of weight previously when I was much younger, sort of in my mid to late sort of teen years. And then I sat at 11 stone for like years and years and years and years, until like probably 6 years ago, when it started to incrementally creep up and creep up and creep up, and I put 6 stone, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I put on 5 stone basically. And then from that point to now, I've been sort of trying to lose it and trying to regain my sense of self again, trying to relearn sort of really bad, unhealthy lifestyle habits and coping mechanisms. And that is why I am here today. So that is my first goal. I want to get back to that weight. And then I have a dream goal of 10 stone. Now the reason my dream goal is 10 stone is because there's only ever been one point in my life which I've ever seen sort of the 10 stone bracket on the scale, and even then it was like 10 stone 13. It was like at the very, very top end of it. And also, I mean, I don't really credit BMI as being like a super healthy reflection of your health and your weight. Obviously there's many contributing factors as to why you are a certain weight. Obviously muscle weighs more than fat, and you could be like a super athlete that's a really healthy sort of like body, has a really healthy body fat percentage but quite a lot of muscle, and therefore your weight, if you calculate it with your BMI, you could be in like an obese bracket, but quite clearly you're very, very healthy. So, you know, it's very questionable. However, I have never been in a sort of healthy BMI range. Now, according to the BMI, my healthy range is between 18.5 and 24.9, which is 7 stone 8 pounds and 10, have I wrote that down somewhere? And 10 stone 4 pounds. I need to write that in. 10 stone 4 pounds. So I personally feel it's impossible for me to be 7 stone £8. Like, that just seems completely ludicrous. So I'm aiming for 10, with it being sort of the very upper end, and I feel like personally if I could get to that goal I would be extremely happy. I'd feel a lot fitter, healthier, happier overall. So that's like dream goal, because I've never actually been there. I obviously have lipedema, which, if you don't know what that is, very, very quickly, it's a connective tissue disorder. And it's really sort of difficult to lose weight with lipedema, as the connective tissue with a person who has lipedema is much larger. If you imagine it, the only way I can describe it is, you know, the netting that you get with when you get like bags of oranges or lemons and what have you. If you imagine a sort of like normal connective tissue, if you will, the netting is so super fine, you can barely see that there's any holes through it. And so if you imagine a healthy connective tissue being really tightly woven, a person with lipedema, if you imagine that connective tissue is being stretched out, that's essentially what the condition is. But then that leads to sort of fat being pushed through that connective tissue, and then over time that then turns into like fibrosis and scar tissue, which cannot be broken down by the body naturally. It's not part of your metabolic system, basically. That is it in a nutshell. But then that also brings on sort of inflammation, pain. It affects your lymphatic system, so you can have an issue with your body sort of not releasing the toxins and cell waste buildup. It's, you know, a very sort of long drawn out conversation, but that's what it is in a nutshell. So I've obviously got that to contend with, and I really don't know what a healthy amount of weight for me to lose is, and not a healthy but an achievable. So I'm just setting this as the goal, and I'm gonna try my very best to get there and do everything I possibly can do in my power to get there, and just see where I'm at. You know, I might find the thing that works for me really well in terms of aiding sort of like my not my lipedema to go, because I know that's not possible, but I can do my very best to reduce the inflammation, reduce sort of like the natural sort of fat that I have on my body, and, you know, just try very hard to do that. So that is why my goals are set as they are. So how am I going to get there, may you ask? I have wrote down just a few key points. I've been reflecting on the things that have worked very well for me in the past, the things that I feel comfortable doing, the things I can feel I can do consistently day to day and it not feel too much of a struggle. So I would like to aim to lose 2 pounds a week. 2 pounds a week, which, if you basically, 1 pound of fat is 3,500 calories if you're thinking of it in caloric terms. So I need to have a deficit of 7,000 calories a week in order to lose 2 pounds a week. So to achieve this, I need a daily calorie deficit of 1,000 calories for my current height and weight. So I've calculated that, and that has accumulated to be 1,096 calories a day. I don't feel like that's an achievable number, so I am going to put that at 1,200 calories a day, which I think is quite an achievable, healthy number for my current height and weight. And then I'm going to just try and be as active as I can throughout the day, and hopefully those extra 200 calories that I need to be in the deficit of 2 pounds a week, I will burn them off and I will still achieve my £2 a week goal. this is what I'm gonna just try over the next sort of like 4 weeks and see how I sort of get on with it. And if it's working, fabulous, I can carry on doing that. If it's not, I can just tweak it a little bit here and there. I mean, I might find that it's a little bit sort of like shooting for the moon, and I can probably reduce that to £1 a week. But I'm just gonna give it a go. I'm gonna give it my best shot. So yeah, so basically I've got my little toolbox for weight loss here, and it's going to consist of tracking my daily calorie intake on NutriCheck and sticking to my £2 a week lost calorie goal. I am also going to be intermittent fasting. Now this is something I have trialed over the last sort of couple of months. I've not really mentioned it because I just wanted to allow myself the opportunity to give it a try and see how I got on with it, if I enjoyed it, how I found it, and then if I felt like it was something that was going to be helpful or something that I could actually do, I could then implement it into sort of like my weight loss strategies going forward. So I'm going to be intermittent fasting for a period of 16-8 with an 8-hour eating window to allow my body to switch into using ketones. This is to help with overall health, switching between storing fat for fuel and like instant glucose sources from a longer eating window. I won't be intermittent fasting over the week of my period. My eating window will be 12 to 8 p.m. So essentially all that really means is that my first meal will be at 12 p.m. and my last meal will be at 8 p.m. Obviously within that 12 hours I will be consuming my calorie goal to lose those 2 pounds per week. And I read a book called Fast Like a Girl. It is incredibly fascinating, really eye-opening. It talks a lot about sort of like how fasting is super beneficial for your overall health, how it helps with cell recovery, brain fog, energy levels. Essentially what it does is it switches your body from using the food that you're eating, which is glucose, into ketones. So your body uses the stored fat for energy rather than the food that you're consuming, and it switches over into a sort of ketogenic, or uses ketones for energy after I believe it's a 12-hour eating, a 12-hour fasted state. There's different lengths and certain things happen after different stages of fasting. I can talk about that in more detail if it's something that you would like, but just for the basis of trying to keep this as short as possible, that I've chosen a 16-hour fasting window in order to let my body switch over into that ketosis state, to use my stored fat for energy, which is going to aid with my weight loss, hopefully help with the brain fog and things that I tend to get most weeks, and also help with like inflammation, just give my digestive system a nice little break. And yeah, so like I say, when I've trialed it, I've found it really helpful. So I am going to implement that over the next month, see how I get on with it, and then essentially over October I want to trial this out, this sort of like overall plan out, see how I get on with it, and then we can reassess at the end of October. But essentially I would like to take this into sort of, this is what I'm going to be doing from now on. I have also popped down that I am going to be eating minimally processed foods and a wealth of whole real foods. So as you may know if you've watched some of my other videos, I read Chris Van Tulleken's Ultra Processed People. I I've read basically quite a few very, very interesting books over the last few months, and it's really sort of highlighted how processed foods, additives, artificial ingredients, flavors and what have you, the role that they have on our bodies. It really, really highlighted a few things, and a lot of the things that I certainly struggle with felt very prevalent. It felt like I was being enlightened as to the reason why I was getting the certain symptoms I was, or just struggling with the certain things that I was struggling with. So I decided to just adopt a sort of mindset of trying to eat as minimal processed and ultra processed foods as possible. And basically that all that really means is eating foods that come from nature, whether it be from an animal, the animal itself, things that grow in the ground, on a crop, on a tree, plants, etc. And there is a wealth of that to be sort of consumed and enjoyed. So it's not about thinking, oh, I'm really sad, I can't have the packet of crisps. It's about being really happy that I can really embrace the hummus and carrots and really, really tasty foods that are out there. And it's not about sort of like limiting flavour or variety. I still will sort of cook with butter and, you know, have cheese and rice and potatoes. There's lots and lots and lots of different things that I do include in my diet. It's just about embracing them and limiting the sort of packeted food-like products that are abundantly out there. So I'm gonna go forth with that, and then I'm going to use my planner basically to keep a record of my progress and keep my goals and sort of plan in the forefront of my awareness, and just keep it nice and sort of active in my day-to-day life. And then I've just added on re-implementing exercise. There's no strict sort of like plan or routine with exercise at this stage. I am going to continue to do my 10,000 steps a day. Now, I have done that currently for, cannot remember the number, so I will just get that up. I've currently done it for 427 days. So I did it consistently for a year, and then from the year point onwards, I allow myself a rest day if I need it or would like it after 6 consecutive days of at least 10,000 steps. So I'm going forward with that. If after 6 days I feel like I could do with a rest day, or, you know, just whatever, then I'm taking that. But I'm still keeping up to doing 10,000 steps a day for at least 6 days a week. So there's that. That's basically a basic level of movement. But yeah, I definitely want to re-implement exercise more so for my mental health, because it really does make me feel so much better. Obviously the endorphins that exercise releases is very, very helpful to keeping you sort of happy and sane. So I want to do it from that standpoint. I've had periods of my life where I have consecutively every single day gone to the gym for like weeks and weeks and weeks on end, and eaten at quite a higher calorie intake and not really seen much process. Much process. So I personally feel like for my body, it's more the diet, the way I'm eating, what I'm eating, how much I'm eating. It is very specifically that aids my weight loss. I know there's some people out there that, you know, sort of their exercise is what works for them, exercising regularly every single day. That's their lifestyle though, and although I enjoy exercise, I certainly am not that kind of person that it's like a religion. So I can't fall back on that as my sort of main attributor to my weight loss, or to keeping my weight at a certain, maintaining my weight. So I'm just being a realist about it, and as much as I appreciate how good exercise is for the body, it's not really something that I am super focused on right now. So I want to get a handle on the whole sort of diet and philosophy around eating. I want to get a real good handle on that, and then I'll just start implementing exercise back in. I really want to get back into hiking. I am missing it so much. So that's something that I really want to get back into, and you know, biking. And then I've also got like a kettlebell and some free weights and a hoop and, you know, a few things here. So it'd be really nice to get to a place where on a morning I'm doing maybe sort of an hour activity here. So, but yeah, like I say, I'm not putting too much emphasis on that right now. So that's it, 22 minutes I've rambled on to you about my weight loss plan. So yeah, here's to success, here's to first goal and dream goal. If you are also wanting to sort of like lose some weight, or you have like a health goal in mind, I mean, probably works better being more in the weight loss category, just because that's what I'm doing. But if you are watching this and you are currently trying to lose weight, or you're wanting to sort of better your health or whatever, I would really love to connect with you and hear what your goals are, how you are planning on sort of getting to your weight loss goal, because we are all so different, and what works for me certainly isn't going to work for everyone. As I've said many times before, weight loss is not a one size fits all program. You cannot just say like, this is how to do it, and every single person in the world is going to follow that plan and have the same results, for a multitude of different reasons. So I'm very interested in what your plans are, how you plan to do it, and what your goals are. Keep me updated. Weigh-in is going to be Mondays. I am going to have my first weigh-in of this journey to goal on, what date is it going to be? It's going to be the 7th of October, which is my first weigh-in. I've actually got a day out planned on Saturday, so that would be interesting. I'll have to really try my very best to not let that interfere with my first October weigh-in. But yeah, so weigh-ins are going to return to Monday, and will be every Monday for the foreseeable. So yeah, I am feeling a little bit tired and hungry. My camera switched off because I've been rambling too long. As I was saying, quite tired, very hungry, so I think it's time for dinner. While tea is cooking, I have just put together some lunch to take to work tomorrow, which is in here, and I went with a can of tuna, 20 grams of the Hunter and Gather avocado mayonnaise, 57 grams of the bold bean chickpeas, and then 15 grams of the kimchi. And I had a little taste and it is insanely yummy, so I already cannot wait to have this for lunch tomorrow. So that's already in the fridge to take with me, and yeah, I think I'm going to very much enjoy that. So that's very good that I have a little quick healthy lunch option to take to work with me. It's 8:45. I have just finished getting in my 10,000 steps. My battery is flashing, what is new? But I just wanted to quickly end today by saying it's been a really good day. I have tracked everything. I am on track with my losing weight calories. Really good day. So let's do it again tomorrow. It's Tuesday and I'm just on my way into work. Set off a little bit later than I wanted to. It's just gone 8 AM. But it's been a good morning so far. I have actually set up, sorry about my obnoxious windscreen wipers. I really need to do something about that. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I've set out myself like a little intention for October. Oh yeah, happy October, by the way. Today's the first day of October, and one of the things that I really want to sort of like focus on this month is getting back into a really good sort of like sleeping routine, because I used to somewhat quite naturally just wake up at sort of like 5:30. It was more of a routine when I was going to the gym like before work and stuff, because I needed to get there at a certain time to make it sort of like worth my while. But now I tend to sort of like, I do still tend to get up at sort of like between 6:30 and 7 AM. But I'd really like to make it like an everyday thing, get back into a really good sleeping routine and be able to sort of wake up refreshed and energized at sort of like 5:30, 6 AM. Obviously that means having to go make sure that I'm going to bed earlier, but I've been finding myself sort of the time that I go to bed is like creeping up and like later and later. So I really need to get that nailed down this month, because I feel like when I get up earlier and I don't sit and procrastinate on a morning, I just sort of like get straight onto it, I just have a much better day overall, and it really sets me up for a good day. So I really want to do that, and eventually I think I would like to return back to sort of like maybe working out in the morning, just to get those endorphins flowing and set me up for a good day. So if I get my sleeping and waking up routine under control, that will allow me the time to be able to do that. So yeah, that's one thing I'm going to try and work on this month. This morning it was a success. Woke up at I think I actually stepped out of bed at about 10 to 6. And if you have watched my weekly vlog from last week, you will know that I found an app called Structure. Now it's so brilliant. I've seriously been looking for something like this for a long time. I just haven't found the right fit. I've found a few things, and obviously I make my own little to-do lists with like paper and pen, because I really love that sort of like physical aspect of working, and it works really well for me. But yeah, I just needed something that was really user friendly, that would work in the way that I wanted to do it. So as I've said, I certainly am a sucker for procrastinating and sort of like, I'll find myself like spending hours and hours and hours like trying to do a certain task, and then other things become a bigger task, and then, you know, it's a bit all over the place. It's something I've kind of struggled with over the last few years. I used to be very, very good at it. When I first started working for myself, in fact, I was really, really good. And I think that was probably just came with the territory of having like just the whole excitement of being self-employed and creating my own schedule and like making that work really well. I was really, really good at it. But somewhere over the years, that kind of I kind of lost that, and I think probably down to a few things, maybe just life experiences, a whole bunch of things. Anyway, I really want to return back to having a lot more structure when it comes to work and just life in general, because I do get caught up a lot of the time. And let me know if you feel like this, like if you go through a similar kind of thing. So I'm 35, and certainly in the last few years I have been feeling like I'm just not, I don't do well as an adult. I just feel like I look at everybody else's situation, or not necessarily look at everyone else's situation, but just in my own sense of self, feel like I'm a mess, a bit all over the place, not getting it right, blah blah blah. So yeah, I've just been wanting to find a way to sort of structure my life that I think works for me. And one of the really good things about this particular app is that you can create time bound specific tasks. So rather than just writing out like a huge long to-do list of things I need to do and then just like periodically going through it, you can make it time specific. So for instance, if it's a everyday kind of task that takes you like an hour or something, you can put that in there, and then, you know, you can add other things in and dedicate a certain amount of time to that thing. And I think it's just going to really help like balance all of my commitments, balance all of my sort of like things that I need to do day to day for work. And then once I get that under control, I'll then start like popping in sort of like life outside of work tasks as well. And I think it's gonna really help. Like, one really cool feature is it's got like an AI element to it, where you can just basically put in a piece of text as if you were like just saying to a friend or your partner or whoever, this is what I want to get done today. And if you know like the time frames, and so for instance, I said today, you know, I want to set off to work at this time, and then when I get in, I'm going to, you know, there's certain things that I do at work which is just like routine. I get in, clean the studio, get it all set up and ready for clients and artists arriving, and then I'll usually do like a little sort of to-do list for the day, but I've kind of somewhat already done that. So yeah, just get it all set up. So then I sort of say, and then I'm having like a meeting at this time. I want to answer the messages and emails. I want to edit the sort of promotional video that I filmed last week and put that online. Blah 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 blah. So basically, just like in text format. And then what it does is it formulates all the tasks with the time frames and like in a really, really lovely, easy to use way. So yeah, I'm finding it really, really good so far, and hopefully it will just continue to aid me in my productivity, and end result hopefully is making me feel like I've got a better, more balanced sense of self. 6:05 and I have just walked in from work. Jim has very kindly started sort of like tea off. He's got the chicken, roast chicken in the oven, and he cut up the carrots and the potatoes ready to boil, so that's very handy. I've just got a few other things to prepare. I think I'm going to do some like med veg again, as it is very much enjoyed. So I'm good this evening I'm gonna make leek, carrots, green beans, and maybe just finish off the rest of the cabbage that we have. And yeah, I really like to parboil the sort of vegetables that take longer to cook, or just boil them so they're soft basically. And then with a little bit of butter in a sort of saute pan or frying pan or whatever, I like to combine all the vegetables together with a little bit of butter, a little bit of seasoning. It tastes really good. So yeah, tea should probably be about another hour, but I've had a really good day. Got some really good video clips today that I need to edit together. I've also got the clips from Saturday, both artists' work that I need to edit together as well. So hopefully at some point this evening I can get them done and scheduled to go up over the next few days. Yeah, lots done. There was a bit of one of those moments where it was like an unplanned thing that needed to be sorted out. There was a leak in the kitchen that was coming from, thankfully it's just like a little exterior bit on the studio, so it wasn't like the main roof that was leaking. So that needed sort of addressing and stuff. But yeah, all in all, a very good day. I am feeling quite tired, so I might just I might make myself one of these. I feel like it did the trick yesterday. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I had one yesterday afternoon or evening in a little bit of coffee, and I had the energy to finish my steps when I was on like, I feel like I had only done like 3,000 or something. So it definitely had the energy to finish my steps and the brain energy to finish editing my video and all that good stuff. It's feeling really good to sort of be back on track and be making sort of steps towards reaching my goal. I feel really inspired, which is exactly what I needed. I kind of just sort of fallen away from that mindset, and it's just nice to lean back into it and have that just be refocused and have some structure towards what I'm doing. Yeah, it's feeling really good so far. Mind you, it's day 2 essentially of oh, it was a plastic bottle. I was like, there's nothing that should be spitting over there, so why did that noise happen? But it was the bottle, water bottle. Yeah, day 2 on road to goal, and I just need to make sure that I am consistently doing what I can to keep this momentum up. I have got a day out planned on Saturday, which I'm really excited about. Myself and Jim are going out with our neighbours, who we've known for obviously the last sort of 6 years while we've been here. So we're going on like a bit of like a date day. It's, what's it called? I can't remember the name to it, but it's basically, we get on the train at our village and then we get off at Marsden, and then it's like going to a pub at each sort of stop. So that seems quite fun. So I just have to sort of like remember that this is life and to enjoy myself in these moments, but also make it work where I'm not going to be sort of feeling terrible for days and days after and wanting to eat my weight in carbohydrates, because that's not helpful. Silly Billy boy. It's Wednesday and I am just on my way to work. It's just gone 7:15. I had quite a restless night last night. I was just having like those really annoying dreams which were just a little bit unsettling and kept waking me up, and yeah, just unsettled overall. So that wasn't great. I managed to get up at about 6:20, which obviously is a little bit later than I'd planned, but actually I did quite a bit of prep last night for this morning, so it made it a little bit more easier to sort of like get up, get ready and get out. So it's not really affected me getting up 20 minutes later, other than obviously I'm trying to create that routine, but Rome was not built in a day. So I've had 2 days on track now. 2 days tracking all my calories and doing my like fasting schedule. So yeah, feeling really good about that. As I sort of like quickly mentioned yesterday, it feels really nice to have structure back towards my weight loss again and just refocus my energy. It feels really good, because it's something that I've wanted to do for a fair few weeks now. So it's nice to have done that and be actioning it. It's really good. So quite a busy sort of day today. I've got quite a lot to do at work, and then I've got quite a lot to do when I get home as well. So I just have to try and sort of migrate that as best I can and not get too sort of caught up on if I don't complete everything. Just take it as it goes. I am just on my way home from work. I have quite a bad headache, so I've left a little bit earlier because I just feel like I really benefit from sitting in a dark room. I do have quite a lot of work I really want to sort of like get finished up today, but I'm finding it difficult to like look at my screen and stuff. So I'm hoping that if I get home and it's a bit sort of darker and not as many sort of like lights and things like that around, it should hopefully settle down a little bit. But as I have quite a long drive to get home, I just thought I would set off a little bit earlier before it got too bad, because sometimes I suffer with like quite intense headaches, and I find it really difficult to sort of like even open my eyes when it's like bright. And although it is quite an overcast day, the sun is quite, well, it feels really bright at the moment. It probably isn't quite as bright as it is, but it does to me. So yeah, I thought it's probably better to just head home a bit sooner. But I had two of the clients that were in today were actually really good friends, so it was nice to sort of see them a little bit. So yeah, hopefully traffic isn't going to be too bad and I can get home quite quickly. Thursday, and today is an extremely exciting day. So I am going to see my lovely friend Laura and meet her brand new baby Bonnie. So I'm super excited about that. Yesterday I got home from work and my head was just absolutely pounding. Not too sure where that came from. I think it's because I've been having quite a lot of screen time over the last sort of week, I suppose, a little bit more than normal. So maybe it was that, maybe it was just, I don't know. But the most important thing is that it has gone today, because I was slightly worried that I was going to wake up with still having a headache, because I went to bed with a headache. So I was like, because yeah, I went to bed with a headache, so I had a little inkling, a little feeling, you can stop, that I potentially might have woken up with one. But I am very, very pleased to say it has gone. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna listen to a little podcast on my way down. I really enjoy the Lily Allen and Makita Oliver Miss Me podcast. It's really good. And I've got quite a few episodes of that I need to catch up on. So I think I'm gonna whack that on. It's a really nice day for driving, actually. It's like, thankfully not absolutely chucking it down, which makes a change from the weather at the moment. Yesterday was another really good day on track. I'm really, really happy with that. Tracked everything, ate really well, and yeah, this week's going really good so far, and I'm just hoping that I can just keep that momentum up, because I'm feeling really dedicated at the moment, and it feels a lot easier when to do sort of like what I need to do when I am sort of in that headspace. So I just really need to really need to work on keeping that sort of alive and well. But yeah, so far so good. Right, let the journey begin. Quickly stopped off for a quick toilet break and a coffee, and I could not resist. Look how gorgeous this little keepy cup is from Costa. I don't know if it's showing up on camera, but it's got some lovely autumn leaves, but the colour is just divine. The size is perfect, and I've been looking for like a keepy cup of this size and like that I just really love for a really long time. I love that it's got one of these like proper closey lids as well, because I'm so super clumsy. So yeah, I just got myself a white Americano, but just had to pick that up because I feel like I've never seen a more me keepy cup ever. I have about an hour-ish to go. Journey's going well so far, so gonna go get back on the road. We live quite far away from each other, so we don't really get to see each other in person as much as we both like, but it's always just such a lovely time to see her in person. So yeah, just such a lovely day. I'm already missing them both, and thankfully we've got our next sort of like meet up in the diary, so it's not going to be too long before I get to see them both again. But yeah, we had a really lovely time. We went down into the town and went to just the most awesome like cake shop. It is my new favourite. I grabbed I actually don't know what it was. I feel like it was kind of like the same texture as kind of like a croissant. It was almond flavour,
I did film a little clip of it, so I don't know whether I've already inserted it or popped it here or whatever, but yeah, it was absolutely delicious. I grabbed Jim and Joe one to bring home because they have to be in on the awesomeness of this cake shop. But yeah, I had just such a lovely day, and I'm about half an hour away from home now. Traffic's been good. It's actually really, really easy to get to Laura's house, which is nice. We've met up obviously a few times before, but we've kind of like met like halfway and stuff. The last time Laura was actually very, very pregnant, so I went a bit further down to her house. I feel like she still drove like an hour or so away from where she lived, but yeah, so it's nice to know that it's like quite a direct route in a way. It's just literally on the A1 and like straight there, so that is good. But yeah, gonna get myself, oh, that's what I wanted to say. This is amazing. So I sort of had drank maybe just under half of it by the time I got to Laura's, and got in the car, and I'm one of them weird people, and I'm sorry if this grosses you out, but I can drink coffee cold and just not have an issue with it. And I was like, oh, I could do with a little caffeine hit, so I went to take a sip, and it's still warm. It's still warm, and the lid's been open. I don't understand this witchcraft. It's obviously a very well insulated tumbler, so that's really good to know. New favourite coffee cup. Slightly concerned that this week is going to be an accumulation of car chats, but here we are. It's Friday and I'm on my way to work. It's very chilly this morning. 6.5 degrees. It definitely feels a little fresher than that. However, I have got my coffee in my new favourite, much loved little tumbler. Jim and Joe both said that it was like literally made for me, and we're both as enthusiastic, so that was very pleasing. So yeah, basically last night I got home and Jim asked me to give him like a little phone call when I was sort of half an hour, 40 minutes off being home from being home, as he was cooking us a very delicious dinner. Jim went down to the fishmongers yesterday morning and picked us up some incredibly delicious white, fresh, I think it was cod loin, might have been haddock loin, but yeah, fresh white fish, and I really, really enjoy it. Joe was saying, is it supposed to have flavour? And I'm like, it does. It's fresh and delicious. So yeah, that was really, really yummy. We had that with a couple of boiled new potatoes, carrots and broccoli, and it was very yummy. And then I just sort of like chilled on the sofa for a little while and then went to bed. So yeah, sorry for not vlogging my dinner. I kind of got home and just somewhat crashed. I think all the excitement of the day somewhat catched up with me, and yeah. And also, something I forgot to mention in the little clip when I was driving home yesterday was that I didn't, so obviously I'm vlogging this week, and I just wanted to go and see Laura and be just sort of fully interactive with her, rather. I'm trying to think of the right words. My brain has not woken up. But yeah, basically I'm just trying to say I wanted to be, my full attention to be on catching up with Laura, meeting Bonnie, and that is why I didn't vlog sort of the day really. Sometimes, you know, that happens where it's not that filming is like a hindrance or anything like that, and it's not that I want to sort of hide points of my life or anything. It's just sometimes I want to be like fully immersed in the actual thing that's happening, rather than sort of thinking about filming it. And I don't know, maybe, obviously I've been filming for a fair few years now, but I think it's still something that feels a little bit uneasy just to be like doing it in public and what have you. It still doesn't somewhat feel quite natural because I'm not used to doing it out and about, but it is certainly something that I want to work on and get better at. But I also suffer quite a lot with like anxiety, and especially like in social situations, so it's hard to kind of like have that going on and then sort of film. So yeah, I suppose it's just something that I'm just gonna have to work on. I would really love to be one of those people that really didn't care and just walked down the street and into shops and things like that, and was just like only really focused on themselves and that kind of thing. But yeah, I do find it quite difficult. I think a lot of the time I'm thinking a lot about what other people, the interactions I'm having with other people, what people think of me and all that kind of stuff. And I think it probably stems from sort of being quite badly bullied and not having a lot of self-confidence in sort of like my late teen years, and something that I am constantly working on. I mean, there was a time in my life where if I was like walking down the street and I heard people laughing, my brain would just be utterly convinced that it was something to do with me, like I had, you know, my skirt tucked into my tights, or I'd sat on something, or, you know, I don't know, I always felt like if I heard a laugh around me, I instantly thought, what's on me, what is it that they're laughing at? And that's not because I'm like totally consumed with myself. I don't think the world revolves around me, but especially in those sort of scenarios. And it would go, even when people were trying to sort of pay me a compliment or say something nice, I'd think that they were kind of taking the piss. But thankfully that it's nowhere near as sort of acute as it used to be. I don't care as much, even if somebody was laughing at me, it wouldn't necessarily be as bothersome. So yeah, definitely in a much better headspace than I was when I was younger. But I suppose, yeah, it's just difficult to kind of change something that's somewhat really, really deeply ingrained in your psyche. But I'm certainly giving it my best shot. So today is a work day. I'm not sure if I said I'm on my way to work, but yeah, a work day today. And today is my last day in the studio. I'm off tomorrow. Myself and Jim are going out with some friends, which will be very nice. So yeah, I've got a lot to do today though. Oh, I popped some of the matcha powder in my coffee, just a little bit. I think the first cup that I made, although I enjoyed it, I think I just put way too much in. So yeah, I want to say a teaspoon, but we have one normal sized teaspoon, and the rest are quite large. They're not, I think they're probably more like a teaspoon and a half. So I just tried to gauge what a teaspoon would be based on the size of them. So hopefully I haven't put too much in. So yeah, I'm gonna go and finish my journey to work. I have just finished editing this week's feature-length film. If you have got to this point, please pop me a panda emoji in the comments. I am more than certain I am not even going to see one, but if you have, please pop me one there, just so I can give you a massive round of applause for sticking with me during this humongously long video. Also, I am feeling in such a funk today. Today is Monday.
and it should be my weighing day, but I have really messed up a little bit. So over the weekend I, you know, was out all day on Saturday, didn't get home, I feel like it was like 11:30 or something, didn't get home until quite late. Yesterday I was just sort of feeling a little bit sort of tired and groggy. I did drink quite a lot on Saturday, but I didn't get like drunk. It was one of those weird sort of scenarios where you have quite a bit to drink, but it kind of doesn't really affect you in the sense of feeling drunk or tipsy or whatever. But by the by, I did have quite a lot to drink. So we went on the ale trail. I feel like there was about 10 places or something, and I had a drink in each one. So there you go, say no more, Maria. And yeah, so I wasn't like feeling super like hungover on Sunday, but I just, obviously I feel like after the aftermath of a very long day socializing, I definitely always need a bit of time to come down from quite a big social thing. So yeah, I just basically cleared out my airing cupboard in this room, and that's about as productive as the day was. So I didn't end up editing the video, which I have done today, and it was a long one, and there was a few sort of things like I've been filming on my phone, so sort of like learning how to use that footage in Premiere. And yeah, so there are a few like teething issues, and obviously because it's so long, it's taken me quite a long time to edit it all together. So this week I felt like it would be really silly to upload this really long video and then also like a weigh-in video as well on the same day, because usually, and going forward, I'm going to really try to do this, but I really would like my sort of weekly vlogs to be up on like a Saturday, and then my weigh-in video to be maybe the Monday. I'm not sure. I've just sort of somewhat organically realised that this isn't going to work as I had planned. So I'm not sure whether it's going to make more sense to have my weekly vlog upload maybe on a Saturday or Sunday and then have like a midweek weigh-in. I think that's probably going to make much more sense and just be a lot easier to logistically work out. So, but rather than completely dismiss it and go, okay, that's happened, and not speak about weigh-in or like what have you, I thought I would just add it on as if this video wasn't long enough. Thought I would add it on to the end and have a little chat about it. So the last weigh-in I have done on YouTube, I believe was over a month ago. I feel like it was probably either very early September or very late August. But the weight I last weighed in at on YouTube was 13 stone, 13 pounds. And I actually weighed in on Friday this week. I kind of just felt like I really didn't want to start out this new sort of road to goal and everything on a bit of a bummer, because I did have all the best intentions to go out on the weekend and just only, you know, have like a couple of drinks and still sort of like be somewhat with it. But I just preempted the fact that that probably wouldn't happen. So I decided to weigh in on Friday just so I had a good basis, and rather than weigh in today and have all the result of sort of like the weekend mess with that weigh-in, just have an idea of where I was at before the weekend. So I weighed in on Friday at 13 stone, 7.6 pounds. So that is essentially what I'm going to start out my starting weight at this new Road to Goal series. And from here to now, like, I'm probably going to be referencing my overall weight, but also this, you know, this start point. So next week I'll reference how much I've lost in accordance with this first weigh-in, and then also the overall amount. Really hope it's making sense. Yeah, like I say, I'm just really out of sorts today, so I need to do something about that. But one thing that I have done is I've gone through in my little planner and just noted down the days in which I was like on track and over and what have you. So I'll just quickly go through that now. So on Monday, which was the 30th of September, I was slightly under my £2 a week calorie goal. £2 a week losing calorie goal. So slightly under. On Tuesday, I was slightly under again. On Wednesday, I was very slightly under. On Thursday, I was slightly over. And then Friday, I was 184 calories over goal. So yeah, that's quite significantly over. But here's where the fun starts. Saturday and Sunday were just a total just, I don't even know what the word is for it. Fail. Massive fail. I was 774 calories over on Saturday and 2,000 calories over on Sunday. So there we go. That is the result of not really just sort of like things just going totally off kilter, being really on it and on track and motivated and sort of doing the right thing, and then just going forget about all that success throughout the week. So yeah, really not very happy about that. So I'm definitely, work is definitely needed when it comes to sort of social events and just managing to balance it out a lot better, because ultimately having such significant days over my calorie goal just somewhat eradicates the good work of those other days. So I had like 4 or 5 days on / around losing weight calories, and then 2 days completely off the rails. So yeah, need to really work on that. But something positive to take away from it is the fact that I actually did track what I was doing. So that is one thing that I'm going to take away from that, is the fact that I tracked it and I'm aware of it, and slightly horrified by it. So with that awareness, I can hopefully go forward into this new week and really sort of feel much better overall. Sorry, just had a bit of a coughing fit. So yeah, not really much to say about it. I am quite happy with that Friday weigh-in. I haven't stepped on the scales this morning because I really don't want to. I really don't actually want to see what the artificial, I know that I've had a significant couple of days over my calorie goal, but even so, it really shouldn't affect that Friday weigh-in that massively, but I know straight away it will. So I'm just gonna wait and see and decide what day I am going to do my weigh-in on. It's a tricky one because I like weighing in on a Friday, but then it's kind of like if I weigh in on a Friday and then have my upload, I don't want to like put 2 videos up straight after each other. So I'm not sure what to do about that. I'm not sure whether to just do it on a Wednesday. I'll figure it out, guys. Please bear with me. I will figure it out. But I'm gonna end this ridiculously long weekly vlog here. It has been a really lovely week. Obviously the highlight for me was seeing Laura and meeting Bonnie. Absolutely amazing day. I have felt really good sort of getting back into a structured plan and feeling like I'm making headway with my sort of weight loss efforts and what have you. But I don't know whether how I'm feeling today is a result of just not following that through into the weekend and just having a huge blip over the whole of the weekend, really. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just feeling quite stressed and overwhelmed today, so I need to really work on bringing my anxiety down from the ceiling. But yeah, here's to a new week. If you have watched this video, I really do hope you have enjoyed it, and I would appreciate if you can give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, I really super appreciate every single person that does subscribe. And if you do enjoy watching my videos and would like to know when they go live, you can hit the notification bell. And until next time, stay happy, healthy and well. Bye.